Hello and happy Friday, as always. Um, we are going to announce who won the Sprint Galaxy tab E, here in a minute. So I wanted to go over my points first because I think they're really important and I want you to watch them. So most exciting news of the year for us, I would say, is that we are rolling out Salesforce 2.0 Phase 1 starting Monday. And so the pilot was really successful. We were able to work through a key and the data migration that would have been a problem if we didn't pilot. So that's great news. And you should be expecting to see an email from me within the next week and a half at the most. We're training from Monday 6/19 through Wednesday 6/21 about 3 to 4 stores a day. And what we decided to get this rolled out to you fastest is we're going to train the GM, and I told the GMs that they could bring one mobility specialist so that's a little easier to manage the fact that they then need to go train the rest of their staff. We're going to have a Salesforce SharePoint site, so it's actually on SharePoint Office 365. The name of the site will be like Salesforce 2.0 training portal, and I'll be working on getting videos and everything on that over the weekend so that we have that ready on Monday for you. And you will see an email from me explaining kind of what to expect out of training, and you'll also see a reset password from Salesforce 2.0 sometime in the next week or so. So if you see a reset password that you didn't reset, that's actually your Salesforce 2.0 password that I just did a reset so that you could set your password. So I'll give you your logins and instructions for that, and I'll ask that you log in the day before, so I'll make sure that you get that the day before, and then that way we don't have to worry about in training because we have a lot to cover in training, and I'm trying to do it as effectively as possible. So logging in is not really something that everyone needs to be on for. The other thing to point out here that's a really important point, and some of these questions made it really clear about some of the confusion, was that in case you haven't been watching my videos, the plan has changed. And so this project is just massive, and it's way bigger than we ever expected it to be, and the data is a lot more of a problem than we expected. So we've had to make a lot of really tough, really difficult decisions because we want to give you guys something that's simple and intuitive and really easy to use. But we also want to be able that we can get all the data over, and we want to do this in a timely manner. We have you on both Salesforces right now, essentially, so we have the license cost from that we're trying to avoid extending where we have licenses on both systems. And we're trying to get off SysPro by the end of this year, so we don't have to buy more licenses again for SysPro in 2018. And we want to get on one consolidated system with everything. And so in order to get to a point where we don't have to buy more SysPro licenses for 2018, what that means is we have really trimmed down the scope, and we've broken this out into 3 phases. And so this is first phase that we're rolling out, which is just your current state of Salesforce with maybe additional functionality here and there, but it's not integrated with SysPro. You'll still be using SysPro, and it's just what you're doing in Salesforce today, but on the new system. So this gets you used to your username that's new, and kind of gets you used to a little bit of a different flow and maybe some different things like having some rules and whatnot, and the way that we have accounts and contacts has changed. And so it gets you used to that. And then with phase 2, we'll roll out the integrated piece with SysPro, and that will only include your current functionality in SysPro right now. And so things like the autofill form were decided to be put in phase 3 because that's a functionality that we currently have a workaround for. And so to get this out as fast as possible and into your guys' hands, we decided that we would save all the automation and everything that there are workarounds for right now, which would include like the appraisals and various things, the autofill form. We'll put that in phase 3. So phase 2 is expected we are hoping to pilot in October, November of this year. And the reason that I don't think that we'll have to delay that is because what we really need on this project is more people working on it. I have become the bottleneck because I can only get so much done in 1 week. And so we have approval to hire up to 2 contractors to help us expedite this, which is why we think that we'll be able to stick to this deadline. Of a November or October 2017 pilot for phase 2, and that would be the integrated version with SysPro. And these were some of the questions that you guys had, so I wanted to make sure that I clarified that. Where phase 3 would start after we're done piloting phase 2 and we've rolled out phase 2, and then we can do all the fun stuff like the automation of a bunch of things and the process and help make it a lot easier for you to use and less guesswork there. But we're just doing phase 1 right now. So that's kind of the major takeaway for you. So I will be training all week. The last thing I want you to note is I'm going to be holding open online office hours every single day starting on Monday from 3 to 5 p.m. Central Time. And when I send out your information about your login for the new system, if you're currently on Salesforce, I'll have a link to that meeting, and I'll make sure that I remind everyone that we do have this meeting starting at 3. So if you have any questions, concerns, issues, you think you don't want to bother me, this is the time to bother me. If I don't know that there's a problem with how you're using it, I can't fix it. And so even if my answer is I can't fix it right now, but I'll put it on my list, at least I can have it on a list so that we know how to prioritize that work. So utilize these office hours. It's time for me to go through things. I can go through examples on what you have issues with and whatnot. I think up to 50 people can join a 8x8 meeting, and so that will be our max people, but I doubt that 50 of you will be on at one time. So look forward to those office hours, to my training documentation, and some emails from me about how to get onto the new system. And we're going to start getting you guys trained. So now, for all the lovely individuals who submitted questions, I put all of your names in here. And I thought this was the fairest way to do it. If you asked multiple questions, I put your name in multiple times. And if you didn't put your name on it, then I wasn't able to put your name in here. So I'm going to do it on the video, and we're going to say... Who is this? Rachel Montoya wins the Galaxy tab. So thank you, Rachel. You had many good questions, and all of you had many good questions. To see your answers to your questions, I'm going to direct you to the SharePoint site for the training portal, just to get you used to going to that site and make sure that you all have access to it. And so I will send that in a link with this video, and you can see what the answers are. I went over one of the questions that I thought was really important to go over, and the other question that I thought was a good point to point out was that we are not doing anything with SysPro. SysPro is staying as is. We're not putting any data into SysPro. We're not doing anything with SysPro except moving the SysPro data into Salesforce. And that is something that we haven't quite started yet. It's on hold right now because we're just focusing on phase 1, which is only Salesforce. And then starting here, probably in July, we'll be able to start really focused on phase 2, which is the integration with SysPro and Salesforce. So that's all I have. Congratulations, Rachel. Everyone have a lovely weekend, and happy Father's Day to all of you who have children. Peace and love to you and yours.